have a microphone now so that way the sound doesn't suck. Hey, here's the tea on tech part 3. What to do once you get an interview. So in the previous video, I mentioned some techniques on how to make a presentation, how to get the recruiter's attention, and it's probably been sent around to all of the people in the company or in your department that you want to work for. So here are some tips to kind of nail the interview. If you have a full day of interviews, bring some snacks and bring some water. They probably have things for you, but just in case you get hungry in between, you'll probably be meeting a panel. You do talk a lot. It takes a lot of your energy. The first thing is try to find out who's going to be interviewing you, so that way you can kind of research their work and have some things to talk about. You can ask your recruiter who's going to be interviewing you, because usually they send you the name of the people who are going to be on the panel ahead of time. Just do a little bit of homework and see, maybe on their personal website or their Instagram, they like riding bikes, and you'd be like, oh, I love riding bikes too. Just to make it a little more human connection and not just like, let's talk about work. And I would say during the interview, don't forget to be yourself. Make some jokes or be funny. You want to show a little bit of your personality, because these are going to be people that you're spending a lot of time with, maybe 8 hours a day if you're working inside of the office, or talking to a lot online. And you'll probably talk more to these people than you do, your family or significant others or someone you live with, because you're just going to have more things to do with them. So don't be afraid to be yourself. So the first set of techniques that I'm going to describe come from a book that I read called Getting More by Stuart Diamond. I would definitely recommend reading this book, by the way. I'm going to do another video on books that I recommend. You just really have to read the first couple chapters. The rest is just examples. In the interview, you want to basically ask them questions. The 3 questions that I like to ask are, what's a project that you have to do and you've been wanting to do but just haven't had time to? The second one, in my example, I'm a production designer and I work with a lot of organization and workflow stuff. So what I ask is, what's one thing about your workflow that you wish could be better, or just makes you go, ugh, I wish this could be better? The first thing that comes to mind. That's what I tell them. The first thing that comes to mind, tell me. The third question that I ask is, what is your biggest problem that you're trying to tackle? Okay, so once you have the answer to those 3 questions and any other questions that might come up, you want to get to know about the department. Here's what you do. Side note, have a printed copy of your resume for each person on the panel, maybe a couple fresh copies, so that way you can kind of write on it while you're going through your final closing argument at the end. So here's what Stuart recommends to do, and it works. Basically, you ask all of these questions, and let's say one of the answers is, well, we really need a website to organize this information. Then you point to your resume where you've done similar work for another company. So if they need a website to organize their files or something like that, you could say, at this job, I did something similar and I really am excited to help you with this. And then just go down the line. And then for the biggest problem question, you say, oh, I'm really excited about tackling this problem and I can totally help out or help drive the solution because I've done similar things here, here, and here. Now, what did you just do? You've just basically gave them a proposal to solve all of their biggest problems and all of their biggest worries. And they're going to walk out of there like, whoa. Since they have your resume, it's kind of something for them to look at while you're talking, so you don't have to maintain direct eye contact the entire time. And then you also have a little guide of what experiences you've previously done to kind of help you keep the conversation going and not stumble along the way. And also be prepared that the panel who are interviewing you might not know too much about you, because of the fact they're probably in meetings after meetings after meetings all day long. So they don't have time to really review your entire portfolio. They've probably taken a quick glance, and it's going to be up to you to have some materials ready, maybe an appendix after your presentation, or some visual samples, or your resumes, etc. So just be ready to explain, because they're super busy and probably have only had time to take a peek at your work or what you submitted. Hopefully, if you created a bomb-ass presentation from my last video, they've already seen it, so that's pretty good if you did that. And just to note, if it's something that you haven't done before, you can just say, oh, I've always been super passionate in that area and I have a couple ideas on it and would love to loop back or talk about it more, or I can email you with some ideas after this interview. Don't be afraid to provide some more information the next day of the interview if you have some more thoughts, because it means that you're passionate about the subject and you really want to help out. So yeah, that's basically it. Listen, ask questions, loop your experience into their answers, be yourself, have lots of materials to show if it comes up. Maybe bring an iPad, a laptop, printed portfolio. Just bring some materials, don't come empty-handed, and I'm sure you're going to nail that interview and get that job. I hope this helps. If you like it, follow or like, and if you think someone would benefit from this, be sure to share it with them. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Later!